Hello, today I will be discussing the topic design of cams and followers. Let us look into this question. A rotary cam with a central translatory roller follower has a forward stroke of 20 mm. So the stroke or the lift is 20 mm in 100 degree of cam rotation with SHM. Dwell of 40 degree the return stroke of 120 degree of cam rotation with simple harmonic motion, that is SHM, and remaining is dwell to complete the cycle. The mass of the follower is 1 kg and the camshaft speed is 500 rpm. If the external force during the forward stroke is 500 newton and during the return stroke is 100 newton, design the cam and the follower. So, in this particular topic, we need to design the cam and the follower. Let us see what are the given datas. The lift height, which is represented by HM, is given as 20 mm. It is also called the stroke. The forward stroke, which is represented by theta O, is 100 degree, and by multiplying with the factor pi into 180, we can convert it into radians. Theta R is the return stroke, which is 120 degree. Theta D is dwell stroke, that is 40 degrees. Mass is also given. Mass is 1 kg. The speed with which the cam rotates is 500 rpm. P max is 500 newton and P minimum is 100 newton during the return stroke. So to solve this particular problem, we need to assume some data, and we'll assume the base circle, which is represented by R suffix B, 30 mm, the roller follower radius RF is equal to 7.5 mm, face width of cam B is equal to 10 mm. So these are the data that is missing in the question, and we require this data for drawing the cam profile. The material of the cam is 40 Ni 6 Cr 4 M02 MO2. The roller follower material is 15 Ni 2 Cr 1 MO15. Both have a different design contact strength, and this particular material is selected from the PSG 8.5. Now the first thing here is to draw the displacement diagram of the follower, and these are the following steps. Draw a semicircle taking lift as HM as diameter, divide the semicircle into equal number of parts, and so on. As we look into it step by step, we will see how it goes. Now the first step is the draw x-axis. On the x-axis I have the cam rotation, and on the y-axis I have the displacement y, which is related to the stroke or the lift and represented by HM. Before I draw the x and y, I need to use a proper scale. So in x-axis I take 1 centimeter is equal to 20 degree, and in y-axis I take 1 centimeter is equal to 5 mm, so that I get sufficient distance to draw it. So as I told you, x is cam rotation, okay, which is represented by theta, and you know that the forward stroke, dwell, return and dwell, this is the pattern in which the question is given. So I will draw the x-axis and the y-axis, and then the lift would be around 4 centimeters, because they have said that it is 20 mm, okay. So for me 1 centimeter is equal to 5 mm, that's why I am taking the lift as 4 centimeters. Now the forward stroke I have taken as 20 degree, okay, and since in the question the forward stroke they have given as, you can see 100 degree. So when I consider the scale, the forward stroke will become 5 centimeters. The dwell, which is 40 degree, will become 2 centimeters, and the return stroke, which is 120 degree, will become 6 centimeters. Remaining is 100 degree, that will be dwell, so it will become 5 centimeters. So in this manner, I will draw the x and the y and the various compartments of forward, dwell, return and dwell stroke. The next step is to draw a semicircle taking lift as HM. So I know what is the length, the vertical length I have taken as 4 centimeters, and I will draw a semicircle around the y-axis and divide the semicircle into equal number of parts. If you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 number of parts, and I am dividing the semicircle into 6 number of equal parts. Now after dividing it, I will get different points, point 111, 210, 39, and I will be drawing horizontal lines along the y-axis onto this XY graph. You can draw it in graph, or you can just simply draw it on any answer booklet with lines. Now after making this semicircle, I'll go to the next step. I have to divide now the forward stroke and the return stroke into 6 number of equal parts, and I know this is around 5 centimeters. The forward stroke is 5 centimeters and the return stroke is 6 centimeters. So it is quite easy to divide the return stroke into 6 centimeters. But forward stroke, I can use this technique called as inclined line. I draw an inclined line at 30 degree and divide the length of the inclined line into 111 centimeters. I can do it easily for this also. Divide the inclined line, or you can just mark 1 centimeter gap of this return stroke and draw vertical lines. So my idea here is to divide this particular forward stroke compartment into 6 equal parts, and that's why I'm using this inclined line 30 degree technique. Now the next step is to divide the whole length into 11 centimeters. So I divided this inclined line of the forward stroke of a gap of 1 centimeters and put a point. As you can see, blue color points are placed. Similarly here also on the return stroke, I have made a line and divided into 6 equal parts at 1 centimeters. Actually for the return stroke, the line may not be made because it is exactly 6 centimeters the distance of return stroke, so you can divide every compartment to 1 centimeter. But since I am doing it for forward stroke to demonstrate, okay, how the compartment of any forward stroke or return stroke can be divided, I am just displaying it. Now once I have made that 1 centimeter points, I will take using 30-60 triangle and draw diagonal lines. Okay, draw parallel lines with respect to the first and the last points, this particular line, and draw from that particular 1 centimeter point parallel lines, and it will touch the horizontal line, and from wherever it touches the horizontal line, from there I would draw vertical lines. Okay, similarly I will be doing for the return stroke also. So in that way my forward stroke and return stroke are divided into 6 equal parts. Now once that is done, I will be locating the points, plotting the points. So this is the initial point I have, and I have this as my first vertical line and the first horizontal line. So wherever my first vertical line and first horizontal line intersects, I will say that that is my point. Similarly, I will try to find out the second vertical line and second horizontal line, and wherever they intersect, that becomes my second point. Now my third vertical line and third horizontal line, wherever they intersect, that becomes my next point, and so on with the other points. Similarly, I can locate the points for the return stroke as well. And as you can see, these points tend to a curve. I will, in the next step, what I will do is I will try to join these curves, okay, using passing through those points, okay, and this is how the nature of the curve will look like. Very important point. As you can see, x-axis is cam angle theta in terms of degree, and this is displacement y in terms of centimeters. So this is called as my displacement diagram for the follower. Once this is achieved, so that is one of my important step. I will try to calculate some of the parameters that are connected with the cam and follower. So I would like to find out angular speed of camshaft. Okay. So the angular speed of the camshaft is given by the formula 2 pi n by 60. In the question they have given the cam rotates by 500 mm. So the calculation ends up with 52.36 rad per second. For simple harmonic motion, the maximum acceleration for a follower during the forward stroke is given by this formula. So it is O stands for the forward stroke. So acceleration at the forward stroke is plus minus pi square theta O, the whole thing, multiplied by the HM upon 2 multiplied by omega 2. So the whole thing is called as maximum acceleration of the follower during the forward stroke. Similarly, we can also find out the maximum acceleration value by substituting the known values to us. Like we know the theta O in terms of radians is 1.745, HM value is 20 mm, and omega is again 52.36. Okay, so in that way we get the acceleration, maximum acceleration for the forward stroke as 88.827 into 10 raised to 3 mm per second square. Similarly, we can find out the maximum acceleration of follower during the return stroke, and that is given by the same formula, but instead of using theta O, we will be using theta R. Okay, rest of the values remain the same. So we have theta R value as 2.094, and when we calculate this maximum acceleration at the return stroke, it comes up 61.685 into 10 raised to 3 mm per second square. So we are interested to find out what is the maximum acceleration we can get. So by comparing both these cases, acceleration at the forward stroke and acceleration at the return stroke, we get maximum acceleration at the forward stroke, which is 88.827 into 10 raised to 3 mm per second square. So this becomes our maximum acceleration. The next point is corresponding parameters. Okay, we need to find out some other parameters as well. For example, the distance between the center of cam and center of follower. Other things we know, for example, displacement of follower is already given in the question, and we need to find out distance between center of cam and center of follower. So we know that we have assumed the RB value as 30, RF value as 7.5 mm. Both of these values we have assumed, and Y is the lift or the stroke which is given in the question, 20 mm. So when you add up these things, you get the distance between center of cam and center of follower. Now we know that whenever we are talking about maximum acceleration, at that point the velocity will become 0. So that is a known point to us. Let us talk about pressure angle. Okay, when we talk about maximum acceleration, the pressure angle is tan inverse of V upon R omega. But since the V is 0, the maximum pressure angle at the maximum acceleration is 0, since the velocity is 0. Now let us try to find out maximum follower force. The maximum follower force, that is represented by F max, depends upon certain parameters like maximum external force on follower plus weight of the follower plus inertia force of follower. So for maximum follower force F max, it can be P max plus mg plus m into the outward acceleration. So we know the maximum P max, that is given in the question, 500 rpm. The mass is 1 kg, g is 9.81. Again mass is 1, and the maximum acceleration at the outward stroke is 88.827. So in this way we can find out what is the maximum follower force, which is 59.8.63 Newton. Let us talk about minimum follower force. Now minimum follower force depends upon minimum external force. Okay, here it is written maximum, but it should be minimum external force on follower plus weight of the follower plus inertia force of the follower. So the minimum external force on the follower, okay, which is given in the question, is 100 Newton. It should be P minimum here. Okay, P minimum, and again mass is given as 1 kg, and here it should be for the return stroke, acceleration for the return stroke, which is 61.685. So when you calculate this thing, it comes up to 171.495 newtons. That is the F minimum. Now after calculating the maximum follower force and minimum follower force, we would like to calculate what the maximum cam force, which is represented by Fn. Now Fn is F max upon cos alpha. Since for maximum acceleration alpha is 0, so Fn is equal to F max. The next parameter what we need to find out is radius of curvature of cam surface. Now radius of curvature of cam surface is represented by RC. Okay, and this is the formula for the radius of curvature of cam, which is Rp plus y the whole square plus V upon omega whole square. The whole thing is raised to 3 by 2 and the denominator. So this is the formula, and most of the values are known. Okay, almost all values are known. By using this formula we can find out the radius of curvature of cam surface. Now here the Rp that is required is the sum of base radius plus the follower radius. So when we know the base radius and the follower radius, we can calculate and substitute the value 37.5 mm in the formula of radius of curvature. After substituting these values, we get RC as 36.77 mm. So that is the radius of curvature of the cam. The next is to find out contact stress between the cam and the roller follower. So the contact stress formula sigma c is given by 189.8 the under root the following factors. So almost all the factors are known to us. We have to represent this, and we will get the induced contact stress, and it comes around 588.38 Newton per mm square, which is quite less than the designed contact stress, that is 950 Newton per mm square. After we have seen that the contact stress induced is safe, we can now draw. Now we will draw the cam profile. To draw the cam profile, first we will draw the base circle with radius 30 mm. So this is the base circle with radius 30 mm. After this step, the second step is to draw the prime circle. Now this is a smaller circle on the pitch curve. So we'll draw the prime circle with the same center with radius 37.5 mm. So that is the second step. After we have drawn that, we assume that cam rotates in clockwise direction. Okay, the spelling is wrong here. It should be rotates. Assume that cam rotates in clockwise rotation. Cam is stationary and follower rotates in anti-clockwise direction. We know that the whole cam is of 360 degree. So we will divide with this as 0 degrees, the forward stroke to be 100 degrees. So you can see after 100 degree I have drawn a line. After that we have the dual stroke of 40 degree. So I'll again take, using a protractor, 40 degree and draw a line after 40 degree. The return stroke is 120 degree. So I will, this as the 0 degree, I'll take 120 degree, and this particular angle becomes 120 degree for the return stroke, and remaining is the dwell stroke. So this line particular should reach till here. So this line should reach here, and the whole thing is called as dwell stroke, that is the remaining stroke. Once I have drawn this, I will divide the forward stroke and the return stroke into 6 equal number of parts. Now you may remember that this is the same equal number of parts that we have divided our displacement diagram also. So we have divided the forward stroke of the displacement diagram with 6 number of parts, and that's why the forward stroke in terms of cam profile also will be divided in the 6 equal number of parts. Same is the case with the return stroke as well. Now locate the points and name those points. So wherever this particular lines touch the prime circle, I will locate those points, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 6, and same is for my return stroke. So this particular first point becomes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So in this way I have divided the forward stroke and return stroke and have given them a name. The next step is, again I will focus on the displacement diagram, and from this displacement diagram I will measure a distance. For example, this is my point number 1 and this is point number A. So I will measure the distance and plot it on the cam. This is point number 2 and this is point number B. So it is 2B. So I will take distance 1A, distance 2B, 3C, 4D and so on, and plot those distances on the cam profile. The measurement and the distance can be measured taking with the help of a compass. So I'll measure 1A, 2B, 3C and I will mark it. So this is my point number 1, and keeping my center at that particular point, I will mark another point which is point number A. Similarly, I will take the compass, measure 2B, and at this point as the center, I will mark the distance B. 3 as the center, I will mark the distance 3C. C, not 3, but C. And 4 as the center, I will mark the point as D. Similarly, I will do for all the remaining points. So you can see that I have got 2 points here as earlier. I have got the A point also and I have got the point number 1 as well. So A, B, C, D are the newly generated points depending upon earlier points 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The next step is I will draw an arc or a circle keeping my center at A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. I will take on the compass the radius 7.5 mm and A as the center. I will draw an arc, or you can draw a full circle also. Similarly, B as the center, I will draw arc or a full circle with radius 7.5 mm. And similarly, I will do it with all the points like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So I get new set of points, and this new set of points will give a curvature at the very end. The bottom of the circle has a curvature, and I can draw the curve of the camp by joining the bottom curvature of all the small circles with radius 7.5 mm. So the next step is using the curve. I will try to join all the bottommost points of these circles. At this particular point, the radius will not change. So whatever is constant at this point, the same radius will be at this point. Similarly, whatever radius is at this point, the same radius will be followed up to this point, because this region and this region, they are the dual regions. But for the forward stroke it will rise, and for the return stroke it will again come down. So in this way I will get my cam profile, and this is the follower. So this particular diagram I have drawn on the basis of base circle. So I will get the base circle profile from the very start of this curve, and the cam profile can be generated. So this is the end of the design. So by drawing the displacement diagram, drawing the cam profile, and calculating maximum acceleration and other parameters like radius of curvature, you can come to the end of this design called design of cam and follower.